On Coast, a very special guest this morning, Annabel Langbein. Welcome to the Coast Studio.
Thank you, Brian. Very nice to be here.
You've got a new book out, another book. How many books is it now?
I think
Have you lost count?
20, I think. This
Wow.
is number 20. 19 or 20.
That's amazing. Tell me about the new book.
The new book is called Annabel Langbein, The Free Range Cook Simple Pleasures. And it goes with my new television series, which is coming out very shortly on TV1. And it follows on from the first free range cookbook that we made, which takes readers on a journey of sort of different ingredients and different occasions so that you can sort of bring food into the focus of your everyday life and just have a lot of fun around the table.
And that first series was a huge success, even worldwide, not just in New Zealand, but worldwide, I believe.
No, it's been, I think we're in 83 territories now.
Which is amazing.
So it is, it's very exciting.
So does that mean you actually have to spend a lot of time out of New Zealand as well?
More and more. I've just had a month in Europe and I'm going back to have another month in October.
And that's just what, promoting the book?
Launching. In fact, my Dutch publishers just sent me a lovely little film of which we've put up on our Facebook page of me for my launch in Amsterdam, and I had to bicycle to this restaurant, my own little pop-up restaurant, which was very funny. I had high-heeled shoes on. It was a really cobbly street, and I was thinking, am I going to fall off? Luckily I didn't. I had all the cameras rolling.
I can just see the bread poking out of the basket and everything like that as well.
Exactly. No, it was charming. And then I'm going back in October, and I've got a big launch in Germany, and I'm doing a show at the Frankfurt Book Fair, so that's kind of a whole new thing for me. A show.
In English, I take it.
In English. I could have done it in Spanish or French, but my German, I've got the German tapes by my bed, and they're still sitting there unopened.
Wow, so the cookbooks have obviously been translated into their languages.
Yes.
The whole free range thing has taken off just maybe since that series started. Do you find that?
Well, I think that was a really interesting thing for me because I've always kind of been a free range cook in the sense of a sensibility about being free spirited and also wanting to have, reasonably fresh, healthy, very fresh, healthy, outdoorsy lifestyle and ingredients. And so it all came together for me under the name free range rather than wanting to say this is healthy food or this is organic food or this is, free range is a very nice word that I think embraces a lot of things that are around being a New Zealander as well, because we are kind of quite free-spirited people.
I think, people now more and more are supporting the markets, those Saturday...
And they want to know what's in season when and that right now in the beginning of spring, we're not going to have strawberries yet. We might in a couple of weeks, but we're not going to have stone fruit yet, so then that's coming in from overseas. So then it will have been, those plants will have been bred for, or those trees will have been bred for long life fruit rather than flavour. Yeah. And people are more and more, I think, seeking flavour and wanting,
the natural flavours.
Really taste, yeah.
Yes, absolutely, as opposed to all the ingredients and added ingredients and things like that.
Yeah.
And so, in amongst all that, writing books, travelling, you've got family as well. How do you manage it?
The jiggle. Well,
yes.
I think I was very lucky, first of all, to marry the man that I married, because I've got a fantastic partner who was, really involved when we had our kids and helping bring them up. So we kind of shared the load a lot that way. And I didn't actually embark on this whole television side of my life until my kids were older and just about to leave home, because I knew it would be really intense. And now, as of this year, both of our kids have left home, so you're much freer and you can be far more focused on, if you have to have a 12 or 14 hour day doing something, you can do it,
So you followed in the footsteps of your mother, who was a sort of a home economics teacher. Have your children followed in your footsteps?
They're both fantastic cooks.
I wonder why.
Yeah, no, they're really great cooks. And I feel so proud because I think in these days that we live in, everybody needs to know how to cook, because if you don't, you're just going to become a victim of an industrial food chain, and you're either going to get really fat from eating all that processed food or really poor from eating in expensive restaurants. There's no sort of equal ground of a good diet if you're eating that way. But if you learn how to cook, then you can have a lot of fun, and B, you can kind of manage your own health, and you save money. And why not have fun at the same time? Like, make it fun so that then you're enjoying the process, because it's something you're going to have to do. So learn how to have fun with it.
I learnt the other night, and for the first time ever, I'm having to cook on my own now, and I made my first ever. It was a savoury mince pie, complete with the pastry, the whole lot.
Well done.
Took a photograph. I was so proud of it. So it makes you feel good.
It does make you feel good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And I always think, you can't change the big things in your life, like, the schools that your kids go to, or the car you drive, or the house. But cooking is a really simple way to bring a change into your life.
Incredibly satisfying.
Very satisfying. You can be creative, you can be resourceful. It's not about fancy pants cooking. And I was thinking about this morning for this show that I'm doing, because I'm a cook, I'm not a chef. So I'm much more interested in food as a sort of a form of nourishment, as a form of sociability, as a form of comfort, than I am about any kind of culinary gymnastics about how fancy it looks or how complicated it was, because it actually doesn't even interest me.
It's amazing. There are so many cooking shows on TV now. Almost one runs into the other, and so on. And there's so much choice. If you do want to learn to cook, it's all out there for you.
It's all out there, and YouTube and all these other mediums that make it. You know, I think I'm a very visual learner, and I'm a very kinesthetic learner. You know, if you give me a handbook or a manual, I'll just boop, out the window, a bit like Eddie Izzard, you know, Control Alt Delete.
I'm opposite, so you have to go by the recipes bit by bit. But no,
I think that's why I write a very good recipe, because I get very frustrated when I read a recipe and I can't work out where I am in the roadmap or what I'm supposed to be doing. And I think, well, if I'm a cook and I feel like this, then it's almost the most important part of my job is to be able to make sure that I remove all that risk, so that when you're cooking with me, you don't get lost and halfway down the road thinking, am I going to Timbuktu or sheer hell?
And the thing is, you're also using New Zealand ingredients that people can get from the markets or the supermarkets or whatever.
And I think that also comes back to being a home cook, because it's really about resourcefulness and flexibility. And you'll see a lot with me, I have things called fridge fixings, which are, you know, once you've made, we just did a show on the radio and people rang up and said, oh, we love your chili jam recipe. And I have these things that I make, and then people can use them in so many different ways. And I'll give you a few suggestions and quite a lot of recipes to use them with, but then everyone can go off on their own tangent. And I think that's what's so great about cooking, because I might have written the recipe for you, but once you've got it, it's yours, you know, and you can just have a lot of fun with it.
All the best for the new book, Annabel.
Thanks so much, Brian.
Thank you.